Hey, welcome to TrVis Laughs, or what I should probably say, since most of this episode is going to be filmed there, is welcome to the world famous Chilkoot Charlie's. Travis, why do they call it world famous? Well, I don't know. But maybe it's because a long time ago somebody said, hey, let's call it world famous. And so they did, and everybody minded their own business and didn't try to stop them, so they kept doing it, and that brings us up to today. That's not a great story, but hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and join our regularly scheduled program already in progress.
So I haven't been doing this for a while, but I promise you, if you bear with me, I will say something funny. I promise you. Let me get warmed up and I'll say something funny. But I'm really excited right now, even though it's still 3 months away. PFDs are coming. And one thing I can promise you about PFDs this year is that by the time they get here in 3 months, I'll say something funny. All right. So, PFDs, I do get pretty excited about them, and for anybody here that isn't from around here, are you? PFDs are the free money that Alaskans get somehow from the oil company. I don't know who started it or who made that happen. I've never sent anybody a thank you letter for it. I just get really mad when they talk about taking it away from me, and I always vote for any political candidate that says, I will fight for your PFD, no matter how horrible they are otherwise. And I'm excited. I am as excited now about PFDs as I was when I first came to the state 30 years ago, which is stupid. Because back then, PFDs were like $1,000, $2,000. I was like 10, 20% of my annual income. Now it's just $1,000 or $2,000. It's 2-3% of my annual income. But I'm still excited about it. And by the way, if you're doing math in your head right now, please don't. Okay, I wrote that joke really fast, and I did not use a calculator for it, so the numbers might be wrong. But I'm excited about PFDs, and when I say I'm excited, I don't mean excited like, woo, I'm going to be able to pay for some, I'm going to be able to hire the service. So I'm gonna finally be able to afford to rent some much needed. What's the right term for that occupation now? Anybody? Dentist. Okay. I was expecting somebody to say sex worker, and that is also the right name for that occupation, but I was talking about not so. But the reason that I'm really excited, why do we let people tell us what words we can use? How did that happen? I mean, and who is it that wants to do this? Who wants to be the national tattletale? You said a word you're not supposed to. I'm going to tell everybody. I know where they came from, because I went to boarding school as a kid. Not because I'm smart, not because I was gifted, not because we were rich. I was annoying, and the best way to deal with an annoying kid is send him to school in a state you don't live in. And there were these boys at the school that did this thing. They like to run up and flick you right in the dick. Alright, and I hated that. And I was like, what kind of person are you going to turn into? What are you going to do someday with that behavior, you know? And you might be thinking, well, why didn't you tell on them? It was a religious boarding school. You don't draw attention to your dick in a religious boarding school. But I think, what are they going to be when they get older? And then I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, a couple of years ago rather, and this person ran up, total stranger, and said, hey, I heard what you said. You can't use that word. Everybody who used the word, thwack, right in the dick. And I'm like, that's what happened to those guys. And, you can be telling somebody, yeah, I don't know, it's a growth of some sort. It doubles in size every few days. I need to find somebody that specializes in that and get him to tell me what's wrong with it. And they come running up, hey, you said him, thwack. You can't use a pronoun if you don't know who it is. That's misogynistic. That propagates the, okay, right in the dick. All right, anyway, so I'm excited about PFDs. And the reason we all got excited about it back in the day was because this was before COVID. Free money that you didn't earn was weird back then. And everybody wanted to get that free money. You know, people that never dealt drugs, they would start hoarding cocaine or whatever to sell it. People who would never turn tricks normally, they start shaving their legs or whatever to sell it. And companies were the same way. They would say, hey, spend all your money at Sears and Roebuck here, and we'll give you a $500 gift certificate. Or they'd say, use your PFD for a down payment on a car, and we'll match it 4 times. Or, hey, buy this RV, and I'll using your PFD, and we'll give you a second one, just packed full of Himalayan cocaine, uncut, minus the amount that I used to do this commercial for free, you know. And I made that part up. But last thing, there was a company back then that traded, that they said, if you give them your PFD, we'll give you, I think it was 4, maybe 5 round trip tickets to everywhere that we fly. Amazing deal. A lot of people bought in on it. PFDs came out, money hit the bank, the company declared bankruptcy. That's true. And I knew a guy that worked at the company. He said the reason we had to declare bankruptcy is because we had all of these mechanics from Norway, and you know what they say about a Norway mechanic, right? Thwack! You can't tell that joke, it's about another nation. Right, kid. Thanks, guys.
What do you guys think? A little bit better than last time? Oh, really, TrVis? Uncut Himalayan cocaine? You clearly don't know anything about drugs, unless, do you think maybe what he was doing was feigning ignorance to kind of create some cover for what's turning into a real drug problem? Do you think maybe that was it? I would never do cocaine. Are you crazy? Look at me on cocaine. Can you imagine? I just did a conversation where 2 of me were talking about me in the third person, posing rhetorical questions that I didn't even understand. You want to throw cocaine on top of that? Why not? Hey, next up, let's make a pentagram in blood and put candles around it in a graveyard and see what happens. See you next time.
Y'all ain't from around here, are ya? That's what I always say defensively when someone tells me I should put my shoes back on in the restaurant.